Hi, this is a short video on how I connected my Arturia Keylab MKII 61 MIDI controller keyboard to an old M Audio um, Track Pro interface, MIDI interface with an old Lenovo laptop running on Windows 10 along with a Behringer mixer. So here's how I did it. To give you a lay of the land, here's the Arturia. Below is my Korg, which isn't plugged into the M Audio at the moment. This is the Behringer mixer, the M Audio. This is a Moog Mini Tour for my bass pedals. Those aren't going through it right now. I just wanted to get the MK2 working. Here's the old laptop, and then of course the Arturia MIDI controller center, and the Analog Lab 5. So I just bought this keyboard. So what I want to show is I have plugged in for power the USB into the power. There's the MIDI out. So you got to make sure when you do this you don't plug this, which is going to the computer just for power. If you just wanted to use it straight, you would plug it in straight into here. I know it usually comes with a white cable. I'm using a black one because I have a longer one. The white one wasn't long enough. So that black cable goes into a USB here. This white one is going all along here into the M Audio USB jack, and you can see that the MIDI, there's MIDI in, and that's coming from the Keylab MIDI controller. So then this took a while. I narrowed it down, and basically it came down to restarting the computer many times, but this, I just have a patch cord going into channel 3 on my mixer. Those two, this one is for the Korg, and that one's for the foot controller coming from the Mini Tour. Yeah, and that's a mic patch. So what I did, basically that's how everything is connected. Now the key is on the M Audio, these things are quite out of date now, but those are sort of the levels that I have it at, so not too loud. The problem I was having was I was testing with some just computer speakers coming out from the M Audio, and they were working fine, these crappy old computer speakers. So I had to play around and essentially turning off the computer and turning on the MIDI controller and restarting Analog Lab. But what I wanted to show was in Analog Lab, under the audio MIDI settings, you have to make sure your device is ASIO and not one of the other ones. And then it should recognize the M Audio USB. So when I plugged in the USB from the M Audio, it somehow recognized it, and the driver. I think I had the driver there from a long time ago, even though I had this computer wiped out and restarted. But here's the output channels, and line 1, that's that patch cable I showed. And then the MIDI device settings is the Fast Track Pro MIDI in. So I was able to recognize it. I haven't updated the drivers. There's still the really old ones from the M Audio from a long time ago. It is inconsistent. Sometimes it'll work quite well, and sometimes it just stops working. So I sometimes have to reboot the computer. And then just to show the computer audio settings, playback devices. Here I'm using the SPIF from the M Audio Fast Track Pro. I'm making sure that everything else is disabled, especially the sound card from the computer recording. It's just the line 1 and 2 for going out. So this all seems to be working. I haven't started this up with a DAW like Reaper, which I like to use, or Ableton. Yeah, Ableton. So I haven't used that yet, but this is a first step. I'm recording this primarily for myself. If you're using old equipment, you can make it work with newer equipment. Anyways, thank you for listening.